Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the confirmation seminar for Liang-Cheng, Zhang. The format of the confirmation seminar is half an hour presentation and then followed by 15 to 30 minutes Q&A sessions. After this is done, everybody will leave the room except the panel members, and we could reserve.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming my convention. My name is Liang-Cheng, and I'm here to present my research project. My topic is about estimating the economic scale and scope for Australian universities, and I won't try to bring some implications for them. I think this topic is quite relevant to everyone else because we're all in a public university, and at least maybe at least the teaching loading will be changed or be increased. So before talking about my project, I want to give an outline of this presentation. I will give the motivation why I want to do this, and after this I will give the methodology and data. I use 4 stages to estimate the economic scale and scope, and I also will propose 2 models to estimate the parameters. And after this, I will use one of the models to answer 2 topics in my research question with my previous results. And the final slides, I will report my progress to date. Okay. Motivation of this topic is quite easy. I think that Australian universities, you can feel it. Actually, it's towards a larger and more comprehensive, institutions. But if you're back to 30 years ago, since we're quite different from now. Why? Because there's a binary system. Actually, the CAE sector is focused on teaching and it dominates most of the student source. And another sector, the university sector, is quite research oriented. Actually, not many students enroll there, but they do a lot of research. But after adopting reform in 1988, all institutions more than 2,000 full-time students are forced to merge with other institutions. Actually, this will be other universities because all the CAE sector is eliminated. Yeah. So the number of universities actually slashed down from 30 to 41 today. And this merge activities actually change the scale of student number. It's being increased. And the scope of provided service has been expanded in each university. I just think why. The belief behind these mergers is because the economics actually began from larger scale and scope. This is beliefs. However, is there any theory to support them? Yeah, this is what I want to ask. Yes, it is. Actually, there are 2 kinds of theory. It is economic scale. Let's date back to Smith. Another theory is the economic scope. It actually is quite intensively applied to many resource used in industry, even including banks. They ask different type of questions. For economic scale, they ask how many quantities of output should I produce? If there are economic scale, average cost is lower at large firms than cost at small firms. It's quite easy to use this graph. You can see this graph, the average cost actually is decreasing with the level of output. But once it hits Yn, it's an efficient scale. So from 0 to Yn, there are economic scale. But after Yn, there are diseconomies of scale. Why? Because the marginal cost actually is larger than the average cost. So I think this topic is to be taught in basic economics, but economic scope maybe it's not. But it asks a very simple question: how many types of outputs should I produce? You see the difference. It's a quantities, and it asks how many types should I produce. So if the economic scope exists, that means the total cost of producing different types of outputs jointly is less than producing it separately. Why? Because the result from sharing utility of inputs in joint production. I think it's a little bit abstract. So I try to use the example. This example quite relevant to my thesis. You see, this is a classroom teaching. So every student have to come to a classroom. Sorry. And this, in Australia, we also call it internal studies. And this type of courses is online, or you call it distance education, or in Australia, we call this external course. Suppose University A deliver internal external courses jointly. They hire 400 professors whose like understands. Then the government try to broke it up into 2 universities. So each one will only deliver one type of courses. For example, University B only deliver internal courses, C only deliver external courses. So when will the economic scope will exist? Like this. If the cost of University A is less than the cost of University B and C, why? It's a joint production, right? It's a separate production. So in this case, actually, University A should not be broken up into 2. We should just join production. I hope this example will help. But if this is larger than, so maybe this University A should be broken up into B, B and C. So it's a simple implications here. I think that this type of series is quite useful. So it's the larger apply into higher education. I have done a very systematic review on the whole literature. I find out 29 studies published from 1989 to 2013 have applied this type of research to higher education in 9 areas, including Australia, China, Germany, etc., to US. I found 3 major gaps. One of the gaps is the other data. Most studies still use the data set before 2006, even published in 2013. I also found, for example, in Australia, I think things changed a lot after 26. For example, in Australia, the demand-driven system, funding system, removed the limitation of enrollment in 2012. A partial on-campus source in 2008. Actually, the number of students increased at quite high rates. It makes estimating this time series quite meaningful, more meaningful, because why? The university can have more freedom to modify their own scales and scopes for Australia. Yeah. The second gap is that the discussion output is not complete. Why? Because another possible form instruction output is distance education. Actually, it's obvious ignored by previous studies. Only one study talking about the distance education. I think the study is from China. The third is no study offers further strategies for universities to achieve scale and scope economics. Okay, there's 3 gaps. And after knowing the gaps, I want to propose my research questions. I want to divide my research question into 3 topics. The first topic is I want to investigate the current economics of scale and scope in the university sector. Topic 2, try to bring some implication from the estimates from the topic 1. These 2 topics actually is used by previous research, but I want to explore the third topic is the further strategy to achieve economic scale and scope. We will ask, what is the first strategies? Yeah, these 3. I found, from my observations, I found there are 3 first strategies actually used in Australian university. The first one is operating multiple campuses. That actually is quite related to the merger activities. You know how many campuses does Griffith have? 5, very good. Not 3, not 2, not Gold Coast and Griffith, Nathan. Actually, it's 5. You know, each university actually has 3.5 4 on average. And actually, they will try to adjust the number of campuses to save costs. I present 3 cases. The QT closed one of the campus in 2008. University of Ballarat merged with one of the campus in Monash just this year. And this news is unconfirmed, but actually, UQ is planning to transfer one of the campus to USQ. USQ is the University of Southern Queensland. And this campus is Ipswich, where Ipswich, in the West. Yeah. And it's kind of a strategy, to say. And the second strategy is forming alliance groupings. I think most well-known is a group of 8. Yeah, I don't have to say that. So we are in this grouping, innovative research universities, and another choose is a technology network and regional university network. And the third is cooperating with Open University of Australia. This is not a university, but this kind of institution actually provides lots of distance education. Actually, providing distance education is quite costly, expensive, because you have to maintain all the equipment. So you're going to try to work with this university to provide online education, or you could say distance education. So this is 3 types of strategies, and I will explore them. So I will propose my methodology. I think the structure of the economic scale and scope is quite clear. But if you work actively, it's very different because it's not very straightforward from my observation. I divide into 3 stages. Actually, I think past that is usually about 4 stages. You have to construct the cost structure for your samples. Then you specify a functional form. Then you build a model. Finally, analyze the degrees of scale and scale dynamics. Okay, let's see the stage 1. Stage 1 is constructing the cost structure. I employ a better panel data, including whole 7 university in Australia over years 2010 to 2012. I use 7 outputs: the internal compression and external compression. Internal, like students go to university on a frequent basis, and internal is an education. The compression means the number of degrees confirmed, and each type of the teaching output can divide into 3 levels, right? Because undergraduate, postgraduate, HDR, yeah, like me. So each type of 3 levels, so it's 6. And for research output, I choose research grants. I also try to use 3 prices. It's a labor and capital price. Labor price is the average of the academic staff and non-academic staff. So the 2 prices here. And the physical price. And stage 2 is specify a functional form. Why? It's just to associate the cost with the outputs and other variables. For our variable is the prices. In stage 1, I choose quadratic cost function because it's the only functional form. Because there are 3 types of functional form. Another type is the CES, and the other type is the transform. And this type of functional form is only one to permit the output to have 0 value without further transformation by other 2. So it's a cost function. If we using a quadratic cost function, to extend it, it look like this. It actually is a tidal expansion of only 2. I also impose the linear homogeneity in prices. I choose W3 is a capital price as a numeric price and will be omitted on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side. So you see a -1 here. And total price and other factor price are divided by the numeric price. So you see the product actually is a normalized process. So you can see, maybe you wonder why this is 0.5 and this is no 0.5. This because I also impose a symmetric condition here. So y yij will equal to yji. So there's no need to add the 0.5 here. Remember, our goal in this stage is to try to estimate the cost function here. That means their parameters beta. I also try to bring two questions. Actually, this to pass that focus on the two type of questions. The first question is inefficient production. Because of the regulation of government, higher education actually try very hard to fully efficient. So I use this kind of model. It's a stochastic frontier model. Actually, it's modified from regression model. This model will divide the error term into two terms. The V follow the normal distribution like the regression model, but we add another error term here. We follow half normal. It's a one-sided error and count for cost efficiency. Also, I want to discuss the second problem. It's a heterogeneity across universities. Actually, each university faces different environments, so heterogeneity is hard to avoid. I use this type of model, the random stochastic frontier model. Actually, it's still based on SFA model, so like this one, but it allows parameters vary with universities. Let's use another slide to explain this. This is the model I will use. This is the basic SFA model. And now, I try to modify this SFA model by allowing parameters to vary. So each parameters will follow normal distribution with the mean beta k and with the variance omega. The first model I will use is the fixed stochastic frontier model. You try to say if you fix the omega to 0, each institution actually share the same cost function, right? Because you only get one value for each parameter. So every, 37 public universities will share the same cost function. It also means you share the homogeneous characteristics. But this assumption is debatable, even questionable. Yeah. This kind of model usually use MLE to estimate that assume that unknown parameters are assumed to be fixed. And most past studies use this type of model. I also use this model in preliminary results. Another model I will try to use after the confirmation, because it's quite complicated, but I think it's quite useful. If the if the omega is not 0, each institution actually will have its own cost function. Then what is useful is account for heterogeneity across universities, but it will use different estimation. It will use Bayesian estimation. So unknown parameters are assumed to be random. No study apply this model to universities, but other industry like banks, actually there are some studies use it. So after the modeling, so we have to use the estimates. Economies of scale actually have two types of economies of scale, but they have common standard. You have to log with one, so you will have economies of scale. For the first one is the Ray scale economics, and equations look like this. The total cost and the marginal cost is here. We try to measure effect of proportional increase of all types of output space along the array. But if we only allow one type of output scale to vary, we also have to show this type of estimates. So this is another product specific scale economics. So there will be, because I have 7 outputs, right? So I will have 7 estimates here. For economy scope, there are also 2 types of economy scope estimates. but they have to bigger than 0, not 1. So the first one is the global scale economics. It's a percentage increase in costs from separate production. So this is cost of separate production, right? This is Y1 cost, Y2 cost at 7 times, right? And the total cost. So it's a percentage increase. Analysis, but if we just focus on one particular type, we also have to use this type of estimates. Okay, in the preliminary results. And in preliminary result, I propose 2 models, right? So I only use, in preliminary result, I only use the first model. The first model is a fixed SFA with ML estimation. I use R. R is a program software. And one of the package from tier. Contents will include a life regression test to compare which models have better model fit, regression model or the survey model. The second content is estimate of scale and scope for the whole Australian University sector. How? It's constructing a different percentage mean output with estimate parameters. All the prices will set to their respective means in all the calculations. So this is price is fixed. I also developed R codes because it's quite tedious if you use Excel to calculate this. You have to develop some codes. So the first is the model selection. I use the life regression test. You can see actually the as the model actually is significant have better model fit and 0.1% significance. Okay, so I choose SFA. It's just explanation. So this is an estimate of scale economics. I think maybe I draw a graph will be easy to understand. Remember, the rate scale economics actually estimate increase all outputs in the Australia rural sector proportionally. And you see the y-axis 0.5, 1, it means 100% of the mean output. 2 means 200%. If you increase 200% of mean output, that's 300% mean output. The y-axis is the estimate of rate scale economics. From this diagram, you can see actually after passing the 75% of mean output, actually it's increasing, right, with the scale. So the rate scale economics exists up to 300% outputs in the double. So it means increase all outputs proportionally. The scale will, the economic scale will exist and continue to increase up to 200% of mean output. So the first one. And this one is, if we want to try to increase the quantity of just in one type of output, you see, this SY1 to S16 is all the teaching output. The 1, 2, 3 is an internal compression, and 4, 5, 6 is internal. But this means it's the undergraduate level, this postgraduate level, this is the HTR level, and this is research grant. That's the result. You see, actually the teaching outputs in the STEM level, has similar pattern. It's quite interesting, especially for this one. Yeah, you see, increase, then the drop, increase and drop. And this one quite similar. But also creates a big jump. Yeah, the supervisor also very curious in like big jumps. I try to give some explanation for the big jump. I think because the variance among the universities, but we try to fit all the universities into one cost function. Maybe this is one explanation. Another explanation maybe for this kind of scale is not accurate, less accurate, because actually there are not many universities actually have this kind of large scale. So I want to show the third one. This one is interesting. maybe it's not obvious, but actually it's very close to the red line. The red line is the standard to judge if you've got the economy scale. It's quite close to. If you just keep increasing your outputs, I think some implications that maybe for this type of outputs, they don't have enough scale to produce economy scale. I don't know, maybe. I just found this quite interesting. So back to the scale economics. I have a similar pattern with the scale economics. The cost of producing current output jointly actually less than the cost of producing them lessly, but you have to after 125%. So it implies that this economy are better again as scale increases because it also increasing. So if we want to just focus on one particular type of output, we also should just look at this. It's the same. It have a similar pattern in the same level. And you see these four types actually, they are all economy scale here and increasing with the scales. But this type 3 actually are exhausted for the economy scale. Maybe for some universities, the cost of producing these outputs with other outputs is quite expensive. Maybe they should just decrease the scale. Yeah, because you see that it's increasing, maybe you should go back for some universities. Okay, this is progress to date. I only report the results. For the rest of the progress, I write quite detailed in my paper. My plans to develop two models. The first one is a fixed SFA with MLE. The second is a random SFA with a Bayesian estimation. For the first one, I think I completed, and I presented it in the preliminary results. And for the second, it's pretty complicated. I still developing codes, but I have enough tool. So every combination, I'll try to do that. And I also try to answer three questions with the model, the first one model. The topic 1, 2 is complete with the ML, and topic 3 is not yet. Okay, implications so far, I hope this research is timely for Australian universities. Because further strength trend is unavoidable. Because the new funding system, you see pressure on camping because of grade review is actually increasing. The student number is quite increasing and a high rate. You can see 2008 and 2011. But before 2008 is quite not so high rate. But I think the increasing scale should be based on solid evidence, not because universities need money, right? Students is not. Okay, the second is heterogeneity among universities. I think in the preliminary results, there's big chance. Actually, I think in per case, maybe the fixed SFA is not appropriate. So, the second model I will use after combination, maybe will be appropriate. But also have some implication for different types of output development. Maybe for some university, they can't just increase whole outputs. Maybe you can just increase some outputs for yourself. And these issues will be the main issues of foreign words after combination. So thanks for your attention. I really learned a lot from during this process and got a lot of useful guidance from my excellent supervisors. So thank you. I hope again some useful comments. Thank you.